It's time for UFC 317. Ilia Topuria battling Charles Oliveira in what should be a sick main event. You also got Kai Kara France taking on Pantoja in the rematch. And honestly, a lot of really well-matched fights. Made my job hard here today, but I got a couple of bets that I fucking love. I'll be dropping them over on the premium channel. DM at MikeFinch'Show if you want in. We ate big last week. Lock of the week hits over 2.5 for Curtis Blades versus Kuniev. That was definitely going over. Parlay of the week hits. We missed one bet out of 5, I believe. So a lot of money made there, which was nice. Let's do it again. I'll lead you guys off with my 5 most confident picks for UFC 317. And let's start right at the fucking top. You know it. Ilia Topuria via knockout. Ilia Topuria's got hands of stone. He closes distance really, really well. So this idea that Charles Oliveira is long and rangy, it's going to be tough at 155. He closes. I mean, Max Holloway has better range management. You know, I know he's short, but Volkanovski does too. The ability to close distance of Ilia Topuria is almost second to none. I mean, Jack Della, a couple of these combination punchers do it really well. Ilia Topuria should come crashing in there and get Charles du Bronx. Then I'm going to go, well, let me walk you down the list. Then I'm going to go with Janata Diniz over Alvin Hines. Janata Diniz should be able to get a knockout here against the guy who's looking pretty sloppy. I'm going to go with Jacoby Smith over Nico Price. That one's pretty obvious. Jacoby Smith, explosive puncher. Nico Price, not really gatekeeper level. I'm going to go Terrence McKinney over Slava Claus. I know a lot of you hate it. I'll break it down. And then I'm going to go Gregory Robocop Rodrigues taking out a Jack Hermansson who's been on the shelf for a while. Those are my 5 most confident. Let me break them down for y'all. We'll start at the top. Ilia Topuria makes the move up to lightweight, and I think he's getting the belt. Charles Oliveira is extremely dangerous, and the biggest danger I see here are the knees and the elbows. Ilia Topuria likes to bend his knees, duck his head down a little bit. He slips stuff really well, but I could see a knee coming up and being quite dangerous. A nice landmine that Ilia is going to have to avoid. 9 times out of 10, I see him getting past that shit. I see him bombing in there with the boxing. You know, I've heard a couple compliments I have to squash on the great and powerful, very entertaining Charles Oliveira. One of them, Charles Oliveira can box too. Charles Oliveira has the head movement of a scarecrow. Everybody punches Charles Oliveira in the face. I think Ilia Topuria is going to rock his shit with punches. Ilia Topuria with the punches and bunches, 3, 4, 5 are all fine than a home. You know, it could be the Muay Thai, right? If you want to say, hey, Charles might grab the back of that head, boom, he might, you know, make Ilia walk into an elbow. I think Muay Thai is a beautiful answer, you know, to the problem that is Ilia Topuria. Great. But boxing, no. Ilia Topuria is putting him on his ass. The other thing people are saying is, hey, Charles Oliveira is so much better at submission grappling. Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu is insane. Charles Oliveira could take his back, strangle him, just like he did the, you know, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier. I think in a pure grappling match, this is very competitive. Ilia Topuria's number 1 most underrated skill has to be the jiu-jitsu. Ilia Topuria's jiu-jitsu looks beautiful. If you watch footage of him rolling, watch footage of him training, his jiu-jitsu is very dynamic. I mean, he's using omoplatas to sweep people. His guard looks good. His attacks are fantastic. He is a very well-rounded 2025 mixed martial artist. There's no real weak point to Ilia Topuria. It's very impressive. So this idea that Charles is going to take his back and choke him, probably not. Probably not. In a submission grappling match, Charles might lose to Ilia Topuria. That's how much confidence I have in Ilia Topuria's no-gi jiu-jitsu. Wrestling, got to favor Topuria, and his brother. Very strong, explosive, solid wrestling. So I think Charles Oliveira has to fight wherever Topuria decides the fight takes place. That's probably in boxing range. And that's why I'm picking Topuria via knockout. Very cool fight. I think it's the right fight for Topuria moving up to 155. Going in there against Islam, there's like all these questions about the size, the strength, etc. Like Islam's wrestling. The physicality of Charles Oliveira is not as much of a weapon. Charles Oliveira is this great martial artist who has these weapons he could throw at you, Art of 8 limbs, Muay Thai. He's got the left hook. He's got the back takes. It's not like this physically imposing style. So I think it'll be a nice, smooth move up in weight. And if you guys have been listening to what Topuria is saying, he's not trying to like bulk up a lot or change much. He just wants an easier weight cut. So he thinks he'll be, roughly the same weight that he was at 145 now at lightweight. Great way to make your debut. I think it's the right fight for him. I think Ilia Topuria looks fucking fantastic. And when they ask Ilia Topuria, do you think that Islam is avoiding you? Make it interesting for us, Ilia. He's such a nice guy. No, I don't think so. Stir the pot a little bit, bro. Stir the pot a little bit, Ilia. Come on. Let's cut a promo, man. Hand sanitizer boy. It's when he first got popular, remember? Whipping shit at Patty Pimblett. It's where like the casuals really started to learn about him. Ilia Topuria is the fucking man now. I think that he could easily be the best fighter in the world. And he's going to look good against Charles Oliveira. And I would be very surprised if he did not finish Charles Oliveira. So, Ilia Topuria knockout. Janata, Diniz, and Alvin Hines. Second biggest lock on the card for me. Janata Diniz, a real good striker who's beat, the likes of like a Carl Williams, who should be a better wrestler than this Alvin Hines. Alvin Hines looks very regional scene to me. Not a whole lot going on with the striking. I think the striking's looking pretty vulnerable. And you're up against a glory kickboxer, Janata Diniz. Very impressive striking. Able to knock this guy out. He probably does. Would I chase the knockout prop here? No, it could easily go to decision. He might have to defend takedowns on the fence. He might, be in a bit of a contest here, but I don't see him getting bullied. I see Janata Diniz controlling the striking by a long shot and potentially putting this guy out. So Alvin Hines, I was looking through his opponents, watching some of his fights. I mean, these guys look like, I said, people of Walmart. You know what I'm saying? These people don't look athletic in the least. This is a regional scene guy who's getting a big step up in competition. I think it's going to be too much. I know he trains with Thomas Peterson and that he's got some takedowns on the fence. I am not impressed by your performance. I'm going to go with Janata Diniz. Lock it. Then I'm going to go Jacoby Smith over Nico Price. Are you surprised? Jacoby Smith looking real impressive on Dana White's Contender Series. Guy who could finish a fight much faster, much more explosive, vicious with the striking. Nico Price, bit of a journeyman, not quite gatekeeper level. Listen, you want to compete at welterweight in the UFC? It's a tough time for welterweights, okay? They got a pretty stacked welterweight division. On down, by the way, but the welterweight division specifically is very special. And I feel like Smith is going to make a splash and Nico Price isn't. So Smith via knockout. Terrence McKinney over Slava Claus. I love Slava Claus too. I know he's Chinny McKinney. I know. It was harder to put these last two on. I'll be honest. Those three, those are the real most confident. I mean, Topuria, Diniz, Smith. Be very surprised if those three didn't land. Slava Claus is a outstanding striker, but that's about it. You know? He's in there with this explosive kid who might even catch him on the feet, but could definitely bully him on the ground. I mean, Terrence McKinney has to be thinking, I'm going to get on top. I'm going to elbow this guy in the head. I'm going to ground and pound him. I'm going to get him out of there. And it's doable, you know? Even when you stand in front of him like James Lontop, it could go to a split decision. That fight was Slava Claus won that fight. Shouldn't have been split. But you catch what I'm saying? Like, it's even when the fight goes perfect for Slava Claus. I'm talking about Borschev, of course. He's not high level, guys. His striking's beautiful to watch, but in mixed martial arts where you could take people down and hold them on the fence and submit them and, you know, ground and pound them, it's just, I think Terrence McKinney's going to rough him up. I really do. You know, I took a deep, hard look at this card. I mean, I had a couple of the ones that I want to give you guys. I'll give you guys my full card predictions after weigh-ins. Please stop back. I love Slava Claus, but I think Terrence is getting him out of there. Terrence McKinney with a finish. He's a first-round fighter. Maybe it's in the first round. Last is RoboCop. RoboCop hits hard. RoboCop had a less than stellar performance versus the Killa Gorilla. I think he could bounce back here against a rusty Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson able to get the decision over Joe Pyfer, which was impressive, but that was a year and a half ago. What has he been up to? Why has he been out? I really don't know. Please leave a comment if you know what the fuck Jack Hermansson has been up to. Is he going to heel hook Gregory Rodrigues? Is he going to submit him since that's the best part of his game? I don't think so. Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop, very powerful, great jiu-jitsu, you know, high-level black belt in jiu-jitsu too. So, okay, they're on the feet. I think the more damaging striker has to be RoboCop. You know, there is a pathway for Jack Hermansson to just hit and move, kick the calf and move, stab to the body and move, just touch and go. RoboCop is the type of guy where you do that shit and you get caught, you know, he walks you down. So I'm going to go with RoboCop here. Again, a tougher pick than my three locks. All right. One more time for my people in the back. My locks are Ilia Topuria, Janata Diniz, and Jacoby Smith. I also like Terrence McKinney and RoboCop getting it done. Those are my 5 most confident picks for UFC 317 going down this Saturday night. It's pay-per-view time, and I'm excited about it. Last week, we had a solid performance from Nazim Sadikov over Nicholas Mota. Those guys got $100,000. Wow. They got to be happy about that. Nicholas Mota, not the richest fighter, you know? $100,000 each. It's life-changing shit. So, cool for Mota, cool for Sadikov. Got that one. Muhammad Naimov and Bogdan Grad. I went Muhammad Naimov. Got that one too. Yeah, his striking is actually not too bad either. Tagir Ulanbekov over Azat Maxim. And then Oban Elliott shit the bed. Jesus Christ, Oban Elliott. Jesus Christ, was he slow? Just what a shit performance that was by Oban Elliott. Solid job for Ko. And then Melissa Mullins losing to Zelensnikova. So, but the bets were sweet. The bets were very sweet. The bets. Lock of the week, Curtis Blades and Kuniev over 2.5. Parlay of the week, Muhammad Naimov and Tagir Ulanbekov. Missed a premium play, the second parlay. And I did try a crazy Hail Mary, but Ignacio Bahamondes did not get it done. It is what it is. We win solid money, plus 105 for Blades and Kuniev over 2.5. They gave that one to us. How dare they? And then the minus 130 hits with relative ease. We're happy about it. And I'm looking to make some money this week. I've already had a bet out for over a month. I got a solid underdog, over a 2-1 underdog that I like a lot. I'm going to give that one out on the premium channel. So DM at MikeFinch'Show on Instagram. If you want to see my bets, come check them out. Come hang out. Premium channel. Let's fucking eat. Jerry Flores. I lost out on a 7K parlay at one leg because Oralby didn't go to decision. I was golden. You said your boy was dangerous. I didn't think he'd tap out. When someone's dangerous, it says nothing about their defense, right? So if someone has dangerous hands, right, that doesn't say anything about their Kimura defense, you know? Right? Like some of the most dangerous fighters are also the most finishable fighters because they take high risks. They're very dangerous. They go out there, you know? So, yeah, somebody's got dangerous hands. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to a decision. Those two things, I would argue, Jerry, are not related. But thank you for the love. I trust Don Finch. Thank you. Thank you. It's actually Mike, but take Don. Finch said he was biased. Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's my boy. I mean, what am I gonna say? That's my fucking boy. He needed to get into the country, so he DM'd me to come on over, and it was I was happy to write him a letter of recommendation. I've never done that before for anybody, but it was pretty cool. I pretty much was just like, hey, Trump, let him in. And hopefully it's going to work. Hopefully he'll be able to come on over and hang out with us over in the US of A. But Oralby looks solid. I mean, beautiful takedown in Kimura. Just textbook shit. The way Oralby stepped over the head, got the fucking leverage. It was some pretty impressive shit. So if you can, if you could Kimura Tafik Masayev in like 30 seconds, you got my respect. Tafik Masayev, super fast hands. Hopefully we see him in some fun fights. Give him a striker, guys. Let's let's put on a show here. What up, chat? You guys are being silly. First show for me. Welcome, Tempest. You think the Dariush pick is biased? Fuck you guys talking about? Y'all talking crazy. I think I like Ilia and Lima parlay conservative, but I'm on that shit. I don't think Lima's conservative at all. That was one I was considering instead of putting RoboCop in, but Payton fucking Talbott, man. Offensively, very, very dangerous. Back to that word. Very capable. Defensively, the defensive wrestling is the real question. If he can't stop takedowns, he's going to have a lot of trouble at a decent level in the UFC. So, Payton Talbott, pummel them underhooks, son. Use them hips. Finch, it's 1 a.m. It is 11:14 over here in California, dog. Can you tell I'm in California? Look at this. I got burnt, guys. Look at how red my chest is. I got fucking burnt. I had my Russian friend Artur out here over the weekend. We went to Comedy Store in Hollywood. We shot some guns. We went to the beach. We had a good time. So shout out to Artur. Thank you for coming by, Artur. Artur's working on helping people live forever. So we're happy to have him here in the United States, pushing science forward. Shout out to my Russian doctor friend, Artur, the man, the myth, the legend. He's going to do big things. You'll see. I ain't going nowhere, all right? I ain't going fucking nowhere. Staying around forever. I want to be 700 years old. Artur's got me. I think Kai Kara-France will win the decision against Pantoja after dropping him a lot of times in each round and having more impactful shots. Woo! Kai Kara-France. I thought he was an Aussie. Apparently he's from New Zealand. I fuck those up sometimes. He is city kickboxing. He's got power for a little 5'4" guy. He could fucking crack. So Pantoja needs to be on those shots. Pantoja shouldn't strike with him much, and his takedown defense is pretty good too. Fucking super excited for that fight. I think people are sleeping on Borschev. I think he weathers the early storm and sleeps Terrence. Don't forget he's never been finished via strikes. Yes, but the ground and pound finish could be coming. I mean, what is he, 8-4 or something? Like, has he really? I don't know. I think he's going to get put away via TKO against Terrence McKinney. But yeah, if he could weather the storm and just technically kickbox, that would be very smart. That's clearly what he should do. How is Ignacio as the favorite? Ignacio was like even odds. Those were like dead even. So fake news. I think RoboCop wins a gritty decision. It's a close fight, by the way. I think RoboCop wins a gritty decision, wins the first 2 rounds, and loses the final round. Yeah, I mean, he's not a 5-round fighter, but luckily this is 3, so I could imagine him having cardio for 3 against the Jack Hermansson, who's not gonna, Jack Hermansson's not like super high output, not gonna grapple him a ton. I don't think, right? I don't think so. I think that RoboCop should be able to walk forward and kind of do his thing. Tougher pick though, no question. People being stupid. Help these new folks, okay? Let them know that I actually talk to the chat and not to be stupid. Ignacio has potential, but damn it, he does have a low IQ. The way he just accepts back position is crazy. It was a patient Rafael Fiziev who was able to kind of shut down a lot of the offense of Ignacio Bahamondes. Ignacio, nice kicks and whatnot. It would just be, he needs to keep him more off balance than that. So Ignacio imposing his grappling more instead of being, happy to play guard at the end there. I mean, I feel like the kid's got a lot of room to grow still, still young and quite talented. But Fiziev fought a very smart fight. Fiziev was very patient. Wise Rise, my birthday is this Saturday. Let's get it. Happy birthday, Wise Rise. Happy birthday, homie. Let's fucking get it. Be honest, Finch'S. Be honest, Finch'S. Which was better pay-per-view entertainment-wise, Baku or Atlanta? I don't know. Which was the better pay-per-view entertainment-wise, Baku or Atlanta? Atlanta? Hey, Finch, my sister is single. Can you date her for me? I am married as fuck. I've been with the same girl for 16 years. So, no. But my boy Arthur's single. Hit him up. She likes Russian dudes. She digging the accent. Russian doctor. You didn't write him a letter of recommendation, Finch? I totally did. Your thoughts on Jon Jones retiring? Yeah, let's end with that. Johnny Bones Jones says he's retiring, but notice he put from the UFC. What could that mean? He didn't say fighting, right? He specifically said the organization that has made him world famous. So what does he want to do? He's like teasingly entertain the Francis Ngannou fight. Is he really going to try to do that? Does he really want to end up back in court? How many times does Jon Jones need to go to court in his life? Has he had enough? Because the UFC ain't letting him just leave with the big ass contract that he's on. I would be very surprised. Okay. If they let who Dana White considers the GOAT just walk over to PFL, probably not. So we'll see what Jon Jones is up to. Was he going to do box Jake Paul? He's going to do BKFC? We're going to see Jon Jones versus Mike Perry? I mean, what is he talking about? Retired from the UFC. I'd be very interested. I will be very interested to see what Jon Jones' next move is. At 37 years old, he could have a couple more fights if he wants to. So surprise us, Johnny Bones. Let's see what's going on. I mean, an incredible career, obviously. I think it's a shame that he never fought the 2 best heavyweights of this era, which are clearly Tom Aspinall and Francis Ngannou. But the Cyril Gane guillotine was impressive. Him beating up old man Stipe, is noteworthy. And I mean, what he did at light heavyweight, it might never be touched. I mean, he's a really, really special fighter. I remember like 22, 23-year-old Jon Jones storming on the scene, throwing Stephan Bonner through the air with double overhooks. Like, who the fuck is this guy? I remember when he beat the shit out of Ryan Bader, being like, oh, he's gonna be the champ. You know? He showed that he slapped that front headlock on Ryan Bader. What choke did he hit him with? A Darce? I'm trying to remember what he hit Ryan Bader with. But I just remember that front headlock being nasty. I was like, oh shit. This guy could strike, he can wrestle, he's got submissions. This is a problem. And you saw it against Shogun Rua. I like the way he broke it down too in the hype for that one. He goes, Shogun's the classic style. He's like, I'm different. I spin, I jump. It's like, yeah, he really is a special athlete, a special fighter, tough as fuck, willing to cheat, willing to hurt you for the rest of your life, stomp your knees backwards. You ever hear like Wonderboy Thompson say like, oh, I didn't want to hurt him, so I'm just stomping on his knee. No, Jon Jones is trying to break your fucking leg. He's trying to Khalil Roundtree, Modestus Bukowskis your ass. Rampage has said it himself. He's like, every time I get in and out of my Lamborghini, I think, fuck Jon Jones. It's because his knees still hurt from getting stomped backwards in that fight. Jon Jones is one of one, inside and outside of the cage. I have one mutual friend with Jon Jones. He worked for Bellator, and he's done work for Jon Jones. And he told me a crazy story about Jon that I won't repeat. But it's just Jon's a fucking wild man, okay? Jon's a fucking wild man. And cage fighter is actually a great career for him, The way he would party the week before a fight, it's just insane, Just insane. The guy is a little bit insane. Jon Jones, little sociopathic. The greatest light heavyweight ever without a close second, probably. And arguably the greatest MMA fighter of all time. I'm still going to argue George St. Pierre, and Dana White can tell me I'm wrong. Farewell to Jon Jones. If that was the last time we saw Jon Jones in the cage against Cyril Gane, amen. The dude has done quite a body of work, and will be remembered forever. So shout out to him. Shout out to Johnny Bones. All right. I appreciate you guys being here. Those are my most confident picks. If you want to see my bets, DM at MikeFinch'Show on Instagram. My guy T will get you in there. And you can see the video content I make for them, because I'm going to drop that in an hour or two. All right. Until next time, folks, you know what it is. It's peace and love.